going to take a Rhine and Moselle riverboat cruise. I'm going to be talking about this cruise. It's 15 days, 14 nights long, and it includes a pre-night at this Golden Grand Hotel, though I will tell you, 2 pre-nights is better than 1, and that's what we did. So we're going to start here in Zurich, Switzerland, a beautiful, beautiful city, about 2 miles that direction down the hill. And we're going to take a bus to Basel, Switzerland. And these are the buses that will take us to Basel. After a 2-hour or so drive from Zurich, we arrive in Basel and get the first look at our cruise ship, the MS Grace, at dock on the Rhine River. You can see how fast the current on the Rhine River is running. It's pretty fast. And in the near distance is the town of Basel itself. Now let's go on board the Grace and check into our room as we begin our 15-day, 14-night trip up the Rhine River.
Gernot. I come from a cute little country called Austria, live in a cute little town called Vienna on the Moselle. If this is not the tour you booked, welcome. You're checked in, that's it. We're gonna have fantastic 2 weeks together. Go back to Aarhus for 11's before you go down to the Campus Rose for lunch. You go back to Aarhus for an afternoon snack before you go down to the Rose for dinner, before you go back to Aarhus for a late night snack.
Gentlemen, good evening. My name, Karel. I was born in Prague, also raised there, so I'm Czech. I'm from a family of tour guides. I have 2 brothers. They are both working as tour guides.
I very much look forward to being your tour director on this wonderful cruise. It's really an amazing tour that you chose.
So I would like to introduce myself as well. And I'm João. Can you say my name? João. Yes. If you're with me on the coach, I taught you how to say my name. You can call me Joe. Wow.
Day 2, Thursday, 2 October. Walking tour this morning starts in Old Town Basel, a town of about 200,000 people. This is one of the 200 or so public fountains in Basel. Even today, one can drink from this fountain. The main church of Basel, a Protestant church. St. George fighting with the dragon. There's the Rhine River, and the Rhine is clean enough to swim in. People get in right around there with floats and float down the Rhine. There's a hot chestnut stand. Isa Moroni is chestnut. Rhine means direct from the farm. Basel City Market, open 6 days a week. These wild mushrooms, the coffees. This house was built in 1284. A sign, let me try to read this. A good morning starts with a glass of good coffee. We are here at the town hall of Basel. We have left Basel as we hit our first lock on the cruise. The evening officially begins with piano music in the lounge, followed by evening announcements, followed by dinner.
Country number 2, where are we going? France. Do you speak French? No? Ooh, well, we have to work on that, huh?
think we had a lot of fun in Heidelberg. Now we are back on the Rhine. And, you know, I guess when you book a river cruise, that means you love to sail and you like to see the scenery, watch the world go by, and get advantage of the beauty of river cruising.
Monday, we are heading into the Middle Rhine. We are approximately 525 kilometers from Basel.
Is actually a ruin on our starboard side.
There's the first castle, and castles designed to collect taxes. Rising above the town is the castle of Baccarat. Destroyed, rebuilt many times, and now a youth hostel. Castle in the middle of the river has a dungeon and a castle above it. It's the famous Castle Schumburg, where the 7 girls of the Lorelei live. Coming to the Lorelei, where the Rhine is at its smallest, about 350 feet across. After they went into the water and drowned, they turned into rocks. And here we have a Nazi castle at the end of a tunnel to protect the tunnel from being bombed by the Allies during the Second World War. This is the only totally refurbished, rebuilt, modernized, original castle on the Rhine.
It's the confluence between the Rhine and the Moselle River. Before we enter the Moselle, we're gonna stop right there in Koblenz.
The gangway is lowering off Koblenz, off the Sundeck. This is the Moselle River, and tomorrow we're going to be sailing down it. It's been recognized as an important point in this area's history. The Romans had a fort right here. Monument to Kaiser Wilhelm I, that's him up there. This area is called the Deutschen Eck. Back down the Moselle to our ship to get out of the rain, which is starting to rain as I stand right here. It's 4:30 and we're going to taste traditional German sausages and cheeses. Tuesday morning finds us on the Moselle River, waiting to enter a lock. The Moselle is a lot more scenic than the Rhine. Finally, vineyards everywhere along the way.
Radio, Moselle.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're still listening to Radio Moselle, the only live radio on Moselle River.
The Germans and the Dutch love camping, and they rent places like this for 10 euros a day. And there's an occasional castle on the hill. We go on a walking tour of Cochem, which means cooking.
And Cochem is the most popular town along the Moselle. It is very picturesque. This is where the word picturesque really gets its meaning. It is beautifully situated, and it has this castle on top of the town on a hill as well.
There is a castle started in about 1000 AD, destroyed by the French in 1689, while with all the other castles in the area. Now across the Moselle River, if you're speaking German, French is called the Moselle. This is Kilsey's Eck, and now I've learned Eck means corner. This is the original gate into town from the mid-1300s, and this is where the prisoners were kept. In 1993, the waters reached about the top of that door. The market square, because this is a tourist town, and higher prices. The locals do not live or eat here, only tourists do. It's a very pretty building in front of the fountain. And that is what the bells sound like at noon. The town hall, and the mayor is currently at work inside.
A deer, a female deer,
we are going to visit country number 4 on our trip, and it's going to be Luxembourg.
Wednesday, October the 8th, day 8 of the cruise. We are temporarily docked in the German town of Bernkastel aboard these buses and head off about an hour and a half down the road to Luxembourg. The Luxembourg American Cemetery Memorial, where many Americans who fought in the Second World War are buried, including George Patton, died right after the war, and he is also buried here. There is how Luxembourg was liberated in the Battle of the Bulge in Bastogne, just a little north of here.
While we will place the wreath stand and we will play a dance. So if I can ask people they serve, come over.
Special Tauck ceremony. Well, Bradley's headquarters here. There's old Luxembourg down below, where Luxembourg was founded in 963. Some of the original city wall. Proceed into the modern old town, founded in the 1890s when the country gained its independence, except for the Nazi period when they were part of Germany. This is the current royal palace, where the government offices are. This is the new Grand Duke. Having lunch at Pattaya, Thai food, on a street of restaurants. With one look at the Luxembourg flag, we're back to Germany, Trier, for the next day. Day 9 of the cruise on Thursday begins in the city of Trier, Germany. This is a Roman wine ship sculpture. Its main market dates back to the 900 ADs. We're heading down to the Porto Nigra, the Black Roman Gate. In the Middle Ages, this gate was turned into a church. One can go up to the highest level of the gate. Good view of the entire downtown market area.
Me tell you about tomorrow, because tomorrow it's going to be a lovely day. We are coming to an end of our journey in Germany, kind of thing, because we have one more day on the Moselle before we hit our last city in Germany, which is going to be Cologne.
This morning finds us at Traben-Trarbach, Germany. One gets off the ship, there's the mandatory castle on the hill. This is what the castle on the hill originally looked like. We are going into a wine cellar. This is a wine press. Bells chiming noon. It's time to say farewell to this city. Flags disappear. You know you better be getting back on board the ship. What can you do while sailing along a river such as the Moselle? Well, you can listen to the noise of the waves making huge crashing against the shore and disturbing swans. Here we are coming to Cologne, Germany, and there is the Cathedral of Cologne, the third highest cathedral on the planet. Survived most with minor scratches, the bomb damage during World War II when every other thing around it was leveled. This bridge that the Germans themselves leveled is a very lovely city. Look at this armory turned City History Museum. It's time to take a quick history tour of Cologne. Founded by the Germans in like 37 BC, quickly taken over by the Romans. The Romans named this city Colonia, colony. So Cologne was part of the Holy Roman Empire. The French took it over, then the Prussians took it over, just like everywhere else in this area. And finally, the Germans. Construction began in 1248 and ended in 600 years later. In 1880, this was the tallest building in the world until the Washington Monument, surpassed in 1884. A view of the Cologne Dome with tourists. Many pretty stained glass windows taken down by the Germans before the bombs dropped and saved. The original Eau de Cologne, developed here in Cologne by an Italian in the early 1700s. We'll reboard the MS Grace here in Cologne and have lunch. We are going to a palace with a nice wall, a moat. Now we proceed inside the palace. Getting closer to the palace.
And welcome to Ereshofen. Thank you very much for visiting us tonight. My name is Clemens, I'm your host tonight, and I will give you some information about where Tauck brought you to. The year 1355, and the year 1355 everything looked different. Finished in 1714. Rented for evenings like this by wedding couples. And during all the generations, lots of women married into this castle.
Here is salmon, looks lovely. Monday, 12 October, the 12th day of the cruise, brings us to the city of Nijmegen and the famous Nijmegen Bridge. This morning is the Kröller-Müller Museum, second largest Van Gogh collection on the planet.
On the other side,
So a 26-year-old merchant's wife in 1524 showing off her wealth. Painting was done in 1 to 2 hours.
All this in body size.
The Van Gogh gallery with about 88 paintings. Vincent Van Gogh only sold one painting during his life. Kröller-Müller bought this painting in a gallery in Paris and recognized it as a Van Gogh. He did not sign most of his paintings, but this is the title of the painting. Where our ship is docked, it's a labyrinth, a water labyrinth.
We are ready to start our Amsterdam adventure. What you see here is not rain. This is Amsterdam's increase of humidity. That's all. The Netherlands have 400 days of rain a year. And in Amsterdam in general, please, please, pretty please, when you hear ding ding, there's 2 seconds before impact.
Our dock, there's some very interesting buildings. First event of the day is a Amsterdam canal cruise. We go down 3 stairs to get into the boat.
On your left-hand side.
No swimming in the canal.
It is too dangerous, too many boats around.
Now have arrived at the Rijksmuseum. On the second floor of the Rijksmuseum is created between 1600 and 1700, including this cannon. People do drawings here in this room of the windows. Tuesday morning finds us in the Dutch countryside at a tulip farm. Munster tulip farm. Each box costs €1,000 just to buy the box and will hold 20,000 tulip bulbs. The biggest challenge of tulip growing here, 16 feet below sea level, is too much water. What to say about our 15-day cruise from Basel to Amsterdam on the MS Grace? Highly recommend this tour.